Hello, this is BioEnchanted and welcome back to Deadfall. Been a while since I continued this one. So let's get in here, shall we? So today we're going for the Ice Temple level. This is a pretty interesting one, it's got some neat collectibles and stuff. But of course, as you saw last time, it starts with a pretty big fight.
An Atlantean temple. Impressive, is it not? Perfectly preserved within the ice, for thousands of years.
This far north? Didn't Atlantis sink in the Atlantic?
Atlantis is a myth, a legend. But there is truth to be found in this legend, Mr. Quarterman. What we call Atlantis today was but the center of a sophisticated civilization, whose people possessed wisdom and power we can only dream
We
of.
clearly dream about very different things, Doc. How come those ancient wise guys didn't freeze to death out here?
The heart, Quarterman. The heart gives life, and life is heat.
Time to earn my pay.
So let's get into it, shall we? This fairly big fight against all these Nazis. This fight can be a little annoying because the cover is so far away that they're all behind, so you have to have a lot of long-range ability with these weapons. And generally it just takes quite a bit to do this fight because of that, because we're always hiding behind cover and you can't really easily get across there. Or you can't really get across there at all, so you're kind of stuck on this side of the ravine. So happily they have a few sniper rifles lit around now. And happily the grenades don't quite reach, neither do ours though, so we can't really make good use of those. So generally long range weapons are the best way to go here. I've always been terrible at first-person shooters, and as you can see from my sniper rifle game, that has not changed. At least made him nervous right between the legs like that. One complaint I have with this game is that especially later in the game, some of the fights can just take a long time. Especially a few of the later fights where they can get a little bit mean as well. One in particular in the next level that's like ridiculous, but we'll see that later. For now, let's continue with this one, shall we? I believe we're about halfway through. It's a pretty long fight with a lot of enemies. And because the AI can't really hit them from this far away, it's all up to us to take them down. We just need to keep going till the music stops, pretty much. And sometimes it can be hard to find the last couple of guys. Sometimes it's just really hard to see where they've gone. Especially because they need to spend so much time behind cover and everything like that as well. They're getting smarter, which means they're getting a bit more annoying as well. Now we're stuck with pistols, this will be fun. Well, revolvers as well, but yeah. I still hate how long that reload time takes though as well. There's a lot of jank in this game when it comes to the first person shooting segments. The puzzles are really good, but the shooting segments could have used some extra polish in my opinion. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. Shame though. I think this is like the last guy as well. It's just a real pain to actually hit any of these people. I was trying to find this one gun as well, but it claims it's here. There we are. Some better pistols. I'm actually using the AI there to see where they're firing at, because they'll kind of show me which direction the enemy's in. And yeah, it's this guy behind these boxes that's still the main thorn in my side right now. But happily this is one of the few fights where you have this massive ravine, so you don't really have to worry about this for the most part. It's really just this one room that's this bad. I mean, certainly later parts of the game get harder, but generally you can always reach where all the enemies are. So it's generally fine. There was a lot of editing here as well, editing out this particular secret, because I had trouble with it. You have to be very careful to hit every one of these little gold Deus discs, so that it will raise the little blocks to protect you from the flames. Otherwise you will instantly be killed by them. You can't just tank them. Even one of them will just kill you outright. But here we are. Path of Light. There's also another secret around here as well. We'll deal with her weak rope later on, which is a little annoying, but we'll see that when we see it, because it's not obvious what she means. It took me a while to work out what she was actually talking about. You probably guessed part of it, and that was what I kind of worked out as well, but there's a very specificness, there's a big specificness to it that makes it really annoying to pull off. But for now, let's head down here. I'm sorry about the sniffling, I've got a bit of a cold that I'm recovering now. This is fairly basic. Go around the right because it's the only way there's a path. Yeah, despite this game being roughly like halfway through now, I've just been kind of neglecting this game. Sorry about that. I had other things going on. Anytime I'm stopping like that, it's pretty much just me stopping to check off the secret I just got on the little checklist I have on my on the little notepad I've got as I go through the levels and find the secrets ahead of time. This is the problem. This big bridge up here, as you can see, is suspended by a rope. But we don't shoot the vertical rope it's suspended by, which you'd expect to do, and looks unique, so it looks like you'd do that, but no, we have to go all the way up and follow it to where the rope is actually up there. That weak rope here is what we have to shoot. It's not obvious. It's very kind of weird that they did that, really. I mean, surely shooting the middle rope would have done. And the fact that it's still taut as well makes it very strange. Like, how is it even still taut when we've dropped the bridge? You know, what was it connected to there? It's a very weird part of the puzzle. Of course, on the other side of the pit, now we're actually here, we can also get another secret before we move on to their thing. And that's a mild sort of a thematic thing with these treasures, so it seems to me at least as though the warriors are closer to big fights.
If it helps, those pictures tell the story of the creation of the heart of Atlantis. It was forged by twin brothers in the main temple city of the Atlantis Empire. The people of Atlantis forged their treasures in an ever-burning pillar of fire. But the heart was unique. According to these notes, it has to be done in the right order. The twin brothers were rewarded for creating the heart and became the rulers of another temple city. The creation of
that was weird. She kind of talked over herself a bit there. But let's just quickly solve this puzzle with we're just going through the steps of the creation of the heart one by one, basically, in order. It's a very basic puzzle, we're just given the solution straight up. Oh yeah, I was also going to say it seems like the path of light tends to come from solving some kind of elaborate puzzle. The path of life tends to be from progressing in the level in general and finding a little offshoot path. And the path of warrior seems to be closer to big fights, but I'm not sure how much that really matches up. If that's just this coincidence at the beginning of this level, it felt like that. Let's enter right through this warrior's grundle, shall we? How very Alice Madness returns. So here's a bit of a ridiculous one. Of course, there's a very basic puzzle type coming up. One that's in every video game has these kind of puzzles, pretty much. And one thing I'm surprised that this game doesn't have is a bloody Tower of Hanoi, honestly. But sliding puzzle time. This puzzle actually gives me a lot of trouble all the time, but I managed to do it really easily here because I've worked out the trick to it in this particular run, which I never did before. Normally I get really lost here and really confused, but I just managed to figure out precisely the order to push everything in to make it just work. So I just get through it without any real problems, which is nice because I don't like sliding puzzles in these kind of things. I tend to find them really annoying. At least 9x9s aren't too bad though. Of course, I actually got a little confused here. I thought this was where the thing wasn't a glitch, but it's not. It's actually just to our right. We just opened a wall that I'm just not seeing right now until there we are. I had a bit of a brain fart there, but now I'm almost there, almost seeing the wall. There we are. Now I see what I've done. Foolish me. But yeah, a puzzle already giving us a life thing instead of a light thing, so I think it may just have been a coincidence from those first 3 in this level.
Watch out!
Of course, more enemies to deal with. At least you got out of the way now. I was aiming straight through her neck there. But of course now they're close enough to use grenades, so now that's a bit of a threat. And because we're also close enough to be able to get closer to them, this fight's a lot less annoying than the last one, because we can actually deal with them in a reasonable way by moving and seeing where they are in relation to us properly. And the fact that they only have one real direction they can come from, straight ahead, means we always know roughly where they're going to end up shooting from. You may notice these mummies around as well. Yeah, I don't trust them either. But we'll deal with them later. For now, they're not bothering us. These guys are. Nearly dealt with this one. It's not nearly as long as the last firefight. But we always know when we're not quite done yet because the music's still playing. Yeah, she's still shooting, so we're not quite done yet. Here we are. Seems like this might be the last guy. Once I've loaded the clicks, come on, load faster. Now you may notice that treasure over there. I don't trust these mummies at all. I think what's going to happen if I grab that treasure now is the mummies will all come to life at once and be annoying. So I'm not going to give, I never give them the chance, I just killed them outright before even grabbing the treasure, so I don't know if they even do that, or if I'm just mistaken there. Because I just don't give them the chance to ambush me. It seems like it would be a very foolish thing to give them a chance to do. I quite like how satisfying their ragdoll is though. Just a couple more of these guys to deal with. So we can deal with them now and not have to deal with them later. This level's got some kind of cool puzzles I quite like in general this level. I mean, all the puzzles are kind of easy, but they're also kind of imaginative. I quite like them.
This lever is connected to the calendar.
There we are, now it's safe to grab this thing. If it ever wasn't. So yeah, here we have a lever and a column to deal with to solve a puzzle. But let's ignore that, it seems like a fairly clear section. Let's just move on, shall we?
Quatermain, watch out!
Or not. That would be a very bad move. What we need to do here, of course, is match symbols to these 3 symbols here. In order those 3 at the bottom. That's just showing the general mechanism of when the lever's horizontal, you can move the middle row, and vice versa for up and down for the up and bottom, top and bottom rows.
Connected to the calendar.
Here I had a little trouble with realizing that this was actually the one I was needing to be on right here, so I'll go through the whole cycle again, because it's kind of hard sometimes to recognize which symbols some of these are. Some of them are really obvious, like the bird. But sometimes, because they're slightly faded, you can kind of think you're seeing it, but not be certain, and end up second guessing yourself, which is what I ended up doing there. But no, then I realised, no, this guy with the weird mouth is this guy with the weird mouth. Now we need a snake on the bottom. Crocodile, whatever it is. Maybe it's meant to be Quetzalcoatl, that would be interesting. I mean, all I know about Aztec mythology pretty much is the whole, like, Quetzalcoatl being a serpent with wings, and I think it was to do with blood sacrifices as well. Not really that well versed on it. There we go. Now we just need to figure out how to actually solve the puzzle, how to enter the solution now that we have it. Oh yeah, of course, the golden skull. Yeah, I'm just double checking again. I have a little trouble noticing the skull. There's almost always shoot a skull, so there we are.
Looks like it's safe now.
So let's quickly move on, shall we, before it's no longer safe. Oh, would you look at that, it's no longer safe. But we also see a thing over there to grab, so let's go see what we can do to grab this, shall we? This puzzle's fairly simple, it's a timing puzzle. A very basic timing puzzle, and now we don't have to worry about the fire anymore, so we can just move on from here. Overall, I quite like the atmosphere of this level, and I quite like the whole like duality aspect of it, where it's a big frozen temple, but all the puzzles are fire-based. That's kind of interesting.
Let's look around.
We're freezing to death in the forgotten holiday home of an extinct civilization, and she's as happy as a clam in high tide.
Look! Remarkable.
You ever hear what curiosity did to the cat?
But we did find a passage, didn't we?
Jen,
James?
your sanguinity disgusts me.
So, we have quite a lot of stuff to do in this room. We need to find that statue and put it on that pedestal. But we also have a lot of other things to find in this room as well. I've got a little pencil actually on the... No, but that's really cute. I actually hadn't noticed that. At least I've forgotten about it anyway. So of course we have a bunch of chambers around the outside, and one of them contains that statue. But they're all worth looking into, because there's also a ton of collectibles in this room. Most of the collectibles in the level pretty much are in this room. The game does that a couple of times with this kind of thing. It's kind of... First we need to open the drawer. So let's kill the Guardian. See if that does it. Can't see anything else to interact with, can you? And yeah, that does it. Go into the alcove, kill the mummy, pick up the treasure. That's pretty much how this will work. So let's keep going, shall we? I'm just checking where all the chambers are. That's putting to a different treasure we can't quite get yet. We'll get that in a little minute. But yeah, it's been a while since I played this level, so a little uneasy on where everything is. But here we are, here's the next chamber. I think I thought there were more than there were. There's like 3 of them. So I think I was looking in 6th intervals instead of 3 intervals. In thirds, rather. So one more chamber, which means we've actually found the one, potentially, that contains the statue we need. Otherwise we'll be kind of stuck. So let's hope it's in there, shall we? Also, I think he says the same thing regardless of whether you look at this chamber last. So looking at it last just makes it make more sense. One thing that annoys me here is you have to push the statues multiple times, like 3 times to get past them, which seems a little bit unnecessary. It's like we get the idea they're a big heavy statue, and it does a good job building the whole, like it does a good job kind of giving it the feeling of weight, that you're like moving something really heavy, but it's just a little annoying gameplay wise. So I'd be fine to lose a little verisimilitude there, and have it be just a little bit easier to move. But we have our statue, and we've got all the treasures down here. So let's put it on here and solve the next section of the puzzle, shall we?
Looks like our offering has been accepted.
Now that we're hemmed in with a wall of spears. This is a pretty neat little, very simple puzzle, but a neat one. All these big kind of light sensitive panels, it hasn't actually activated yet, that's why the notepad hasn't changed yet.
Try to direct the light onto the symbols.
There we are. So we just need to work out which symbols, and it's those 4, of course. And each pillar actually has 2 symbols, so of course we need to know which one to do in which order. Which 4 rather to do in which order. And some basic levers to get things moving as well. We don't really have much motion with these particular mirrors, so we can only move as far as they let us, so we can't just not move it and just kind of cheekily move the mirror around, because that's about as far as it can go to the right, for example. It's a very narrow scope on that mirror. Maybe because it's that cold, it's just frozen the mirror a bit. It's just a bit stiff. There's the last one. The second to last one, Mother. We're a little preemptive, so we can just kind of whoop. That's better. Now just that one to go. A basic puzzle, but it's a cool idea, and it reminds me a lot actually of the light puzzle, or the shafts from Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. That's the first major puzzle in that game, but a lot easier. I mean, all the puzzles in this game are fairly easy, but again, I like how imaginative they are with, like, how they interact with things, and just general, like, the mechanisms are just kind of cool in concept, and I kind of like them for that. Would have been easy just to have shoot the switch, but they don't, they have more to it than that, and I quite like the way it does that, and the fact that they're all kind of separated between shining lights on things, shooting things, and exploring things. It's like, it feels appropriate to the game itself. Of course, here we have another drawer, so we need to open that the usual way. Kill everything guarding it. I'm assuming on hard mode in combat difficulty that every single one of these coffins would have a guy in it, but at the moment it's just a few of them. Of course, I'm trying to trigger them all from afar so that I have time to shine the light and shoot them. Because if we let them burst out of it, we often have to be too close for that to work out properly, and that will end poorly for us. This is actually the last one, but I shoot the last coffin just to be on the safe side. We're actually nearly done with the treasures in the level, but the level itself actually has quite a bit to go. It's got a pretty big section coming up. I mean, some of these puzzles are already getting kind of big as well, which is kind of cool. Quite like the lighting here changes as well, from the deep blue to the powerful red. Kind of give the idea of a kind of halfway point almost. So it gives that corridor a little extra emphasis. Let's see if we can upgrade anything first before we move on, because we don't do that much.
Like this.
We can upgrade something, yay! It's always nice to upgrade stuff. I think generally if we have treasures we're able to upgrade stuff with, it shines blue, if not it shines yellow. That tends to be, I think, how it works, but it might just be based on location. I haven't really noticed. I actually only just cottoned onto that just now.
It seems blend architectural styles from all around the world.
Of course, the different numbers of treasures we need to get all of the things on each one is determined by basically how many treasures there are in the levels in the game and things like that. Like, I don't know how many nodes there are on those paths. Like, the Path of Light only has 4 nodes, so that one gets really expensive by the end. But the other ones have like 8 nodes each, so they're a little bit cheaper. This is kind of a neat one. We have to set off the arrows, and then just run while they're reloading. I quite like that one, it's kind of cute. Because they take a long time to reload. And now we're done with them. I quite liked that one. It took me a little bit to work out what to do there. So a couple of tries, but it was a cute puzzle, and I quite like the way they kind of vary it. Like, sometimes you have to be fairly quick with those kind of time traps, sometimes you have to be very careful. And sometimes, if you're too careful, it can bite you in the bum, like in one secret in a later level that I found quite funny, but we'll see that later. Just finishing off marking off the things on my checklist, and we'll move on from here, because here we have a pretty big section.
I can't jump down that far. You two go on and get the second half of the heart. I'll go back and get a rope.
Roger that, Doc. For science.
So this is actually quite a big fight against a large number of mummies.
We should leave it first.
But they actually kind of come in a very predictable pattern. There's only a few of them at a time, really. It's just there's a lot of them in total. But as long as you don't progress forward too far, you won't trigger the next wave. Generally, it's based on proximity to where the waves spawn. So it's like, if we just stay back here, we just have to kill a few of them. And then we're safe to move on a little bit. But of course, this is also the first one we can't really see all of the coffins that they're spawning from. We don't really know where they're all going to come from. Which does a good job building the whole tension and everything like that. And this is like the first big fight with these undead creatures. So of course it's drip feeding them to you a bit. Like a couple at a time. The later levels with a lot of these guys will be absolutely swarmed all at once, and it will be very difficult to manage. Later levels also get kind of cute with some of the mechanics as well, but again, we'll see that. For now, it's just a fairly basic shoot 'em gallery. The next guys come from that way. I'm just being careful to make sure I don't get backstabbed by one of them. They haven't actually triggered them yet, but if we get a little closer to those stairs, we would. So let's in fact go this way instead. Because we have a secret over here. Once I've taken care of this guy, that's why I was being cautious. Making sure no one got past. It's like a tower defense game. Here we have to be quick, because otherwise, not quick, we actually have to let it crush and then come back up and then run through it. And be quick going back out again, because then it will crush again. There's actually one a little bit mean puzzle in this game, because, in this level rather, in this room even, because it's kind of unclear, but you only have one chance at it. I'll show that off when we get there. And also the reason you only have one chance is a little bit stupid as well, but we'll see that. I definitely missed it my first time because I didn't know about the one chance, or how the puzzle even worked the first time. Yeah, we're not quite done yet. Well, I quite like the ones that are crawling along the wall. That's a cool like visual escalation of things that like before they were just popping out coffins and shambling, now they're like running along the walls and everything like that, and being a little bit more acrobatic and a little bit weirder, like the bokoblins from, not the mini-blins rather, from Zelda. As you can see, they're actually starting to swim a little bit more as well. They're getting like waves closer together right now. It's kind of building it up for us, like easing us into large waves of these guys. Just getting the reload out of the way there, so I wouldn't end up having to reload in the middle of a shootout with something. That would have sucked. Of course, that triggers a trap, but I don't really want to bother because the undead don't really go into the traps very effectively here. It's really just better, because otherwise we have to just like backtrack to the trap trigger and set it off to actually get the undead within it, and that's just kind of feels like a bit of a waste of time. This is actually like the only one we can actually see spawning as well, that guy on the end there. Nearly done. Like he just pushed past me, he didn't even really attack him, he just wanted to go straight for you. I believe that's all of them now. So let's go for the puzzle that's completely missable if you don't know how it works. It's a little mean, because you have to be standing in just the right place or you'll miss it completely. You have to stand on this round thing and shoot this thing. The only thing with this is, if we shoot this thing and we aren't standing on the round thing, for this to happen, then we can't shoot the panel again. It will not reset itself. We'll be stuck, locked out the treasure forever until we reload the level and goes to the whole thing again, and that would be terrible, so let's not do that. So here we are. The penultimate treasure in the level. There's one more. I just wanted to clear out all the undead first, just to make sure I didn't accidentally trigger one going too far in the wrong directions. So we'll go back for that one now. It's just in this room. It won't take long. Now that we've cleared the room out, it's kind of safe to just wander it now. Just a little bit of like routing, because it's kind of hidden in a very small alcove, so you have to know exactly where the alcove is to find it. It's a very narrow passage to get there. It's just under that bridge. So let's head over there now, shall we? I quite like how roundabout this area is. It's an interesting room. That does a good job kind of forcing the undead to funnel towards you in a 2 or 3 strong line kind of a thing. So now we've got that, let's finally exit this room, shall we? And go to finishing the level. Because we've actually not got much to go with this level. Just another puzzle or so. I don't really run much in this game because like I don't like to get caught out, because I can't like... I know that there's no real enemies there, so that's why I'm kind of running with impunity now, but it's just sometimes I don't feel safe quite running for some reason, because I never know when the game's just going to spawn something, and even though like I know academically it's not going to, I always kind of want to avoid running into something that will get me killed and we have to redo a fight or something, because that's always annoying. So, the final puzzle of this level. This is a fairly basic puzzle, geometrically speaking.
I think.
You just need to make the bridges match up.
Got it.
Alright, you do this one on your own then.
That didn't quite work. I believe we can only really move in one direction at a time. We can't just like move in one direction then the other one. That would kind of cause weirdness with the way the bridge aligns, so it kind of doesn't let you. We just need to align the bridge with both of these, though. It's oops. Now we can do a little half turn though. With the little one. Big ones do big turns, the little ones do little turns. And that's how we match them all up. We just need to mix and match the right numbers of turns. Then we can grab a skull. I'm sure skulls make a click when you pick them up. That's just how they work. Maybe he's making the noise by clapping the mandible to the upper jaw. Like a set of maracas, but really maracabas. I'm pleased with that one. Yeah, for some reason this one we can actually do in both directions. I think it like doesn't want us to go too far past the bridge. It's kind of finicky a little bit. But, you know, I've got both the skulls, you just need to put them in those basins as we can see on the diagram. Again, the puzzles are basic, but they're visually interesting, and I quite like that for them. Because this game didn't really need puzzles when it came to like game design and stuff like that. It's just without them it would have been a really dull, pointless kind of, well, pointless, it would have been a really dull shooter without the puzzles. The puzzles give it the Indiana Jones vibe that it's looking for. This one's a bit more difficult than the last one we had, because unlike the other one, we only have, like we only had two directions to move it in, one direction to move it in, one axis rather. This one we have both. And it can be kind of hard to tell what kind of picture you're trying to make if you don't already know what it looks like. It took me forever to work out how to align this one when I first played it. But now I kind of know what I'm looking for and how it's going to look, so it doesn't take quite that long. Like, we've actually got it pretty much just horizontal right now, so we just need to move it a little bit more around. Almost there. That's more like it.
There must be another fragment.
Hooray. This coastline looks familiar. South America?
Certainly looks like it. Guatemala, probably. But what could the spirals mean?
No idea. But I'm sure Dr. Hagen will be bursting to tell us some long story about it. Let's take the heart and get out of this fridge. South America sounds real tempting right now.
Hold on. Just let me make a copy.
No, Hagen brought the rope. That's nice of him.
Did you find the other half?
We did, but it seems our journey's not quite over yet. There's another fragment. And look!
Spirals. Interesting. This reminds me of the tale of the sunken...
Later, Doc. First, let's get out of here. Told you. After you, m'lady.
Good manners from a Quatermain? That heart's power must be something else.
Hagen, what the hell are you doing?
Would you now be so kind as to hand over the artifact, Mr. Quatermain? And don't even think about reaching for your gun. Or I will have to spread Fräulein Goodwin's blood all over these ancient walls.
Hagen, you double-crossing son of a...
Mr. Quatermain, let's not overstay our welcome. Just throw me the artifact, would you kindly? Much obliged.
Goodwin, no! You better pray your Nazi buddies find you first, because compared to what I'm gonna do to you for
But
this...
they won't find me. Our dear Hauptsturmführer knew that I betrayed the Reich, but thanks to you, he's dead. In fact, you killed just about everyone who knew about my betrayal. I will get in contact with your little agency, should I need help again. But I think first I need a vacation. I hear Guatemala is beautiful this time of year. Goodbye, James.
Hagen! Can you get back up?
I kind of like that gambit, actually.
Great, just what we needed. More goons and guns.
It's a pretty cute gambit, that, though. I quite like the whole, like, being a double agent, pretend to be a double agent for the Americans to get them to help you out with stuff, then kill all the witnesses when you betray them, and then just call up and go, oh, hey, yeah, sorry, the mission didn't quite go as planned, could you help me out again, please? Later on, whenever you need more help. I mean, eventually people start getting suspicious when they realise all of their missionaries keep disappearing on the missions with him, but For the time being, it's a cute idea for a Gambit, that one. This is actually only a timed section, it's not actually kill everything, it does kind of wait till this trigger.
Drop your weapons, fascists!
You dropped them, you dumb son of a force! I just finished taking out an entire SS platoon! You think I can't handle a couple of commies?
Отставить, не стрелять! You are American?
And archaeologists.
So, where are you brushes and pigs, archaeologists?
If you were chasing the Germans, then you're too late, comrade. They already left.
I'm not interested in your lies, Miss Archaeologist. Hand over the artifact.
You're out of luck, Red. If you want it, go and chase the skinny German. He took it and left us here to die.
Very well. You will tell us everything. Surrender, and we will not harm you. I give you my word as Colonel of the Red Army.
Fine, just don't shoot.
What? After all this? You want us to just surrender?
Hagen has both fragments of the heart. Let them take us out of here. I know you'll find a way to help us escape later. Live today, fight tomorrow.
I'm going to leave in the beginning of the next level, because we're going to start the next video after this second autosave there. This is kind of a nice introduction to what the next level will involve.
Man must die. At the worst, he can but die a little sooner. I had lost the artifact, lost the girl, lost the fight. All I have left to lose now, I thought, is my very life. But not today.
What is the artifact? Why are the fascists looking for it? Why are they going to South America?
Artifact? I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't treat me like a fool. I found the map on you. And I'm quickly running out of patience and polite words, Miss Archaeologist. And this is not the only way we can do this.
The Nazis threatened us too. Remind me what the difference is between you and them? You illiterate savage.
Savage?
Get your hands off her!
Let me take you on a tour to the heart of my little underground kingdom. And when you see what we have created down here, I will ask you again if you think this is the work of savages. And you, I suggest you tell my soldiers all you know if you want to live. Women are rare around these parts, but you, what use are you? Выбейте из него все. Если сдохнет, туда ему и дорога.
Could have done without the rape threat there, but yeah, it's pulpy as hell, so that was probably bound to happen eventually.
Take that! Hooah!
So this is the mine. Probably one of the harder levels in the game, but certainly an interesting one. So, I will see you next time as we retrieve our equipment and escape this place. Goodbye.